Okay, apparently my app
I don't know.
We are live.
All right, then.
And we are joined by Ozma in the Dark. And soon we may be joined by an Isaiah.
Yeah, hopefully we are joined by Isaiah, but like now I have to think to like okay, I'm just gonna go with like Ozma in the Dark wants to like rant about like the liberals framing things.
Well, I mean that's the same thing every day, Pinky. But hello everybody. Hello Moto.
Hello. Is sorry.
And here is a Wild Izzy appears.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hey, Ozma.
I think Ozma has like some technical difficulties right now.
Definitely muted, and apparently video frozen as well. That, or very, very good at playing the no moving game.
Yes, alright, there we go.
Hello, Kirok.
Oh, let's see. Right now I'm busy just like sharing the link to like older places and like hopefully like Ozma's tech issues like sorts out as well too. We got 90 minutes of the show, so we can like do the dally and like waste time until that happens. So, like,
do you have money dysmorphia, geek?
I didn't even read that CNBC article, but like I'm just like money dysmorphia.
You're not poor. You just think you're poor because your friends on Instagram are having more fun than you. Really, you're fine. Stop whining, Zoomer.
Yes, I'm assuming that's the crux of the article from the CNBC. I know one. It's cleverly not a anti-millennial article that they usually put out. I swear too. Oh, I saw that on Facebook the other day. Millennials not buying fabric softener, and the fabric softener companies complaining that like they're losing money because like not enough like people are buying fabric softener, which is like
well, with fast fashion, our clothes are so cheap we don't need fashion softener, fabric softener.
So
and happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone.
Oh yeah, that is today.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't care.
Yeah, I had a pretty decent night driving last night.
No, I imagine so because there
was a parade and there was a lot of people at the Irish bar.
I'm gonna go out to this little like watering hole later and I guess spend a couple hours there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. I'm just gonna like say those quick and simple things as a word too, and just like not gonna like do too much and just like post it online, so that way we can just like I'm not distracted by like what's going on the news. As I'm part Irish, I don't care. I'm part Irish too, and I don't care. Also, it's like I gotta like remember about like St. Patrick's himself and stuff like that.
Well, isn't there like a genocide or something?
Yeah. I think that's the kind of like part of it.
Or maybe it's just colonization. I don't remember.
It's one of those two. So it's just like that's why I think Lindequin is actually Irish as well too. They're definitely fair skinned in that like when it's like really hard out or really sunny as it were too, and they went grocery shopping one time in the sun, the blistering sun. No. They're burned so bad when they came home, their skin was cracking.
So we have two Ozmas. I'll remove.
The other one, just assume.
No, I'm just going to leave the other Ozma there because it's funny.
I mean, true.
So welcome, so welcome, Last, and Enemy Badasses. Oh yes, on St. Patrick's Day, but we don't care about that holiday. Mitfro, hello, evening. Apologies for not being around last week. That's okay. I mean, we did the USA stupidly just spring forward 1 hour unnecessarily, while the rest of the world didn't. And so I kind of attribute that I forgot to email you about that sort of thing and remind you. So it's it's whatever. You can blame the stupid Americans for just changing the clocks an hour earlier than everyone else, or 3 weeks earlier than everyone else by an hour earlier. Yeah, it's daylight saving time stupid.
Yeah.
So see. So how is everyone? So yeah, over here on the Alchemy bench is of course the usual rigors of John Brockman, the jerk, or kind of an asshole, Isaiah Taylor, me, Summer and a Geek, and our special guest this week, a returning guest, friend of the show, Osman the Dark. So how's everyone doing?
Okay.
I'm good. I'm actually working on my movie script while we do the show.
Nice.
I choose not to feel insulted, but included in the process.
Okay. Osman, how are you?
I have had a lot of internet fuckiness or whatnot. So mixed. I'm more immediately thinking about the current thing of if I cut out that's just gonna happen potentially a few times.
Yeah. Don't worry, we can continue the conversation. We'll try our best to continue the conversation and as much as possible. Until you reconnect. And I'm pretty good at remembering what we last talked about, what you last talked about, so I can bring conversation back to that. Where in this.
Let's see, yeah. But you wanted to bitch and moan and whine and make the conversation all about you, just like a leftist, right?
Wait, are you talking about my goal or
yes?
Other people? Oh yeah, no, that's essentially what I said. That's not as far off as probably it should be.
You went to the National Railway Museum, Mithril. Wow, you are such an old English guy.
No. I went. I would go right there with them.
Well, yeah, no, you're an old English guy on the inside.
Okay, Isaiah Taylor, there are two people inside you. The a white girl from the 90s that's inside you. Hence a Clueless poster. And there's also an old English a white man inside you. Hence the love for models and trains.
Most people have two wolves inside them. You have two white people.
That's the thing with being autistic. You just have all kinds of shit going on in you.
Oh yeah, very true.
And you usually wear that shit right out on your sleeve.
Yes.
Yeah.
Clueless. Your love for Alvaro Ravine.
I wish we lived in a world where that stuff wasn't. Where men could like things that a lot of men wouldn't really care for. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I think if men should be like Avril Lavigne and like Nickelback or something like that, or like Taylor Swift as it were too. It's just the toxic masculinity that some men kind of like.
So what you're saying is we need to genocide toxic masculinity. Wow.
Yes. Toxic masculinity itself, I have no problem with, because again, Phoenix and hey,
Phoenix, context friends, Joe.
Yes, hello everyone. It's St. Patrick's drove the snakes, aka Druids of Ireland. So yes, genocide, meh. But I do want some corned beef as well. Okay, yeah, give me the corned beef as well. Don't care about the green beer, whatever. A good Guinness though. I won't say no to a good Guinness. But the green beer, why is just and then the corned beef, yes, corned beef, Guinness, I can have a good time.
I'm preemptively just having tons of desires for Passover food, so I'm just I I need the matzah. I need the lamb. I need the salty water and
Something made with potatoes.
I can't think of vegetables. What?
Something made with potatoes. Because there's always potatoes.
No.
2,000 years ago in Israel, they had potatoes. Somehow, I don't know.
Irish, sure, but like not for.
Oh,
I mean,
No, I'm thinking
I do have
latkes.
Irish heritage as well, but like, no, I was just thinking. I don't know. I can't think of the thing that you dip in the salt water during Passover. Whatever. I just
Matzah?
want all the Passover foods. What?
No, matzah is like the bread that like does in rice as well too.
But
you can also
make matzo ball soup, right?
Yeah, which strangely I've never had. It's the weirdest thing. I'm not a fan of latkes, and I haven't eaten matzo ball soup before. But I love matzahs.
Have you been tarred as anti-Semitic, Ozma, for not supporting the genocide in Israel?
Oh my God! Look,
Speaking of genocide,
I was born and raised under Reform Judaism. Every Reform Jew is considered anti-Semitic by conservative people. Like, no matter
And
what you
nowadays,
do.
so are Orthodox Jews who are also protesting the Palestinian genocide.
It's like you're being called anti-Semitic by Christians. Can you like?
They're being
believe-
called anti-Semitic and attacked by the Israeli government.
Well, here in America,
Yeah, well, hardcore Zionism is kind of hard to justify, and especially it's getting harder and harder to justify. People tried to look away from it or tried to downplay how bad it's gotten. It's gotten so bad that people
Those
are
that
like, maybe this is actually a bad thing. Was I one of the bad guys before? What?
Those who die are justified. Wearing the badge, they're your chosen Jew?
yeah.
No, that was about KKK and police. So like,
Yes.
I mean, at this point, the IDF.
well, the IDF do train the police, so or not all the police, but too much of American police.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
No,
Oh yeah,
it's been well documented.
yeah, it has been well documented.
Really.
It's really messed up. There's just a lot of messed up stuff with the Israeli government. I feel like the Israeli government has like worked with former Nazis before. Like it's really messed up just how far people are willing to go to for that sort of attitude, which is just which I mean is it's blasphemous in so many ways. I mean, this is why there's more likely to have for the longest time there's been a lot of ultra orthodox people who have just been against the Israeli government. So you have Reform Jews and ultra orthodox being against it, and just have.
It's weird how all the Jews are against the Jewish state.
Well, there's a select number. It's usually because Orthodox Judaism specifically is the most likely to go along with a lot of like Christian stuff that just really irks the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
Because Christian Zionists support the Israeli state because they want to bring about the apocalypse.
So that
to
all the
watch
Jews will die. Yeah.
Or they don't convert to Christianity. Did you also know that whole thing is bullshit? That it was never in the Bible. Did you guys know that?
Yeah, the rapture is Christian fanfic. Just like Mormonism.
Yeah.
I think I told you this before, Ozma. I actually went to a Mormon church. Oh my God. This was
And they said, "Oh my lucky stars, a Negro."
basically.
Just like from the movie Blast from the Past.
It's so white, man. I was like, oh, this is too white for me, dog.
So there is a limit. So that's good.
So there's a limit to whiteness, Isaiah Taylor can tolerate. Absolutely embrace the whiteness of like lovely model trains as well, and like white girls in Clueless, and like Taylor Swift, and like Avril Lavigne.
I mean,
but,
model
like,
trains is a stereotype for autistic stuff.
True,
You
yes,
know, I
it
have
is.
no
It is.
desire.
Yeah.
I don't like
Mormonism
small
is sort of like the vodka of whiteness. You distill it. If white people are beer, Mormons are vodka.
Oh God, that should be on a T-shirt. If white people are beer, Mormons are vodka. Oh God,
John trademark that. Trademark that on a T-shirt.
I mean, to be fair, the white supremacy and the starting of Mormonism where it's just like, oh no, the white people are the people who have been cleaned up or whatnot. Their souls have been purified or whatnot. It's so
Well, they
bad.
did finally admit in 1978 that black people have souls.
Oh, thank you.
Well, no, actually in 1978 they had a continuing revelation that black men could join the Melchizedek priesthood, which is the sort of first level of authority in the church.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or it might be Melchizedek. Or, because they're assholes, Melchizedek.
What's wrong with the sound?
I'm just saying that they think they're the real Jews, just like Christians do.
Oh no. Oh, I forgot about that. Just it's just slightly less in your face than the fucking Jews for Jesus. It's just
I don't even know.
I remember the Jews for Jesus.
Jews for Jesus. Look, Jews for Jesus. They'll kill you too.
Yes.
Well, no, Jews for Jesus was Christians.
Yeah.
Not even. They were just like, we're the true Jews or whatnot, and Jewish people should follow us. They weren't even like following any sort of Jewish tradition in any serious sort of way. About as much following of Jewish tradition as Seventh-day Adventists.
Okay, no, don't trust that says no. Mormons are Michelob Ultra, not vodka.
I don't know what that means because I don't.
Michelob Ultra is ultra light. It has very, very few carbs. That's how it marketed itself. Low carb beer.
Okay,
light beer.
So does that mean I can't even think of the name of it. It's been so long since I've been around any sort of alcohol. So the Nazis are the stuff that's like just alcohol. What do you call Everclear?
Everclear. Grain alcohol.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that band.
That's Everlast.
Everclear is good.
Everclear's all right.
Yeah.
Yes, but anyway, I much prefer gin over vodka because at least gin has some flavor to it as well too. So if I'm
Also
vodka,
quinine, so that the British don't die from malaria in their overseas colonies.
I remember
that makes sense.
I remember one time me and my brother mixed Kool-Aid and vodka one time.
I can see that working.
That's the black way of making Mark liquor.
And then there's bathtub gin.
Oh yeah, of course.
It's a homemade spirit.
Anyways, so
Yes.
honestly, what I just wanted to rant about was just framing because of that argument last week or whatever, and the fact that I've been dealing with activism or whatnot to some degree, and propaganda and framing is just like important for getting people to do shit, because like if you get too doom scrolly and shit, like people don't actually do shit. Like you actually need to, even if you're talking about something negative, you have to actually frame it in a positive way. Like I just dealt with I've got like a huge list about say this instead of this from the people, because they so just to be clear and stuff, obviously I've been just started to do some volunteer work with regards to the content creation side of Never Again Action. I don't speak for Never Again Action, but like immigration rights is important and stuff. And I still have no idea to find a good way to frame things that isn't depressing with regards to why people should care about immigrant rights.
Yeah.
There will be taco trucks on every corner.
Yeah, that's one way to get. That's one way to get folks out to talk about him. There'll be taco trucks.
Yeah, but like, but if they go,
I
"Oh
was
my
literally coding the Trump rallies from 2016.
That's right. They
Oh.
did fucking say that. I wouldn't mind a taco truck on every street corner though, or at least like a different sort of like a food truck on every street corner for like.
Oh my god,
options.
they're opening a Mexican restaurant near where I live soon. So I'm excited for that. I think it's a unless it's Los Campos. That's not. Maybe
It's kind of
I don't know.
it's kind of like whenever like because what's going on now in Georgia is like this white girl got killed by this Venezuelan undocumented immigrant, and now they're trying to like pull a missing white woman syndrome and basically be like we gotta fast track a bunch of laws to keep these
Well,
illegal.
you have to admit that there are crowds of dangerous people on the border, riding around on horses and whipping people, trying to force them onto saw blades. I'm talking about white people, cops.
Yeah.
Well, border control people, the ICE especially. The ICE are incredibly dangerous, and yeah, they arrest first and then find proof. That's why American citizens have been arrested by the ICE, and this is what I'm aware of all this like really bad shit.
And here's the thing: crossing the border technically isn't a crime, so you don't get a lawyer.
Yeah.
But
They put you in a concentration camp without a lawyer, and you just sit there, and you get diseases and sexual assault.
Every Homeland Security investigation has found like either rotting food or obvious torture related stuff. It's just been huge amounts of failure every single time. Nothing gets done about it. And people, oftentimes what happens is Democrats care about it when a Republican is in office, and then as soon as the Republican leaves office, the care drops significantly.
Both groups, both sides don't really give a shit about it. Honestly, they're just playing hot potato with it.
Well, yeah, but you can get the. You're not going to get politicians to give a shit. Well, sorry, you're not going to get higher up politicians to give a shit about it. If we're talking about primaries, like low level primaries, that's probably the best place to make a difference because you can have an option to vote for the person who's the furthest left to put pressure on people to try to like have to give a shit about it if they want to stay in office type thing. But yeah, no, I have like a whole list of things where it's just like shift from family separation, separating families, and move towards take a child from his or her mom and dad, take children from their parents or whatnot. It's just like every single thing that you say. If you make things singular, people care about because that's a person. If people can't group things as easily with the way you're talking about, it's just like a lot of stuff that's potentially useful for talking about other stuff, regardless of what it is. And when it comes to motivating for change, so like I'm just like going through this list because it's like fix our broken instead of doing fix our broken system, end abuse, stop detentions, move towards create fair immigration process, assess each person's case, ensure the well-being of families. So it's like a positive shift. It because like when you get too negative, because people hear about negative shit all the time, so people get fucking demotivated. So it's like, no, come with us, fight for like a fair immigration process, fight to like actually keep these people safe instead of what's going on right now. Like it's way more motivating to be like, no, we have to end this terrible shit going on, because people are like, because of all the individualistic conditioning, people are like, oh no, but there's nothing I can do about it as a person because individuals are weak, groups are strong. And I
So-
keep wanting to quote like the Union song, and I can't remember the name of the lyrics. It's like nothing's weaker than nothing's weaker than the strength of one or whatever. But the
I
unions
am not
must
familiar
fight
with that
on.
song.
Oh,
Unity makes us strong.
solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the unions make us strong.
Yeah, I have the lyrics right now, but trying to like a finger. Yeah, but that is the tune to like Solid for Hey John P.
Yeah.
JJ.
Yes, no Archie. Phoenix can like bother people if they want to as well. Yeah, even on like Twitter, because like some of the people that like they bother are awful people. Lord of Patriarchy, like Warcorp 666, at least not the most awful person, but like he's definitely a person as well. Now, King Thankless a fascist, so like yeah, Phoenix can bother them however like much they want to as well too. But anyway, continue.
Kirak, no, we do not have a democracy.
Mm-hmm.
Public opinion makes no difference when it comes to the passage or not of laws.
Yeah.
Not directly, not without separate action.
Mm-hmm.
But like
well,
also
there was a
that's
study.
not going to happen from representatives. That's not going to happen from Senate. Like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
best chance you get for making any sort of difference is with at least directly is like
State or
state
like local.
representative primaries, not even like the state representative thing, because they're still not going to follow your direct opinion. There's the thing is there's so many different things that you need to do to make any actual change. But yeah, for the most part, we do not live in a democracy. Sorry, you were saying you're probably describing it better.
There was a study done a couple of years back. They published a paper, and they looked at a couple thousand laws in the last 20 years and public opinion surveys about those laws, and found that from 0% approval to 100% approval, public opinion had no bearing at all on the passage of those laws. But the opinions of the elites, and especially of interest groups, is what shifted those.
That like the donor class.
Yes. Yeah, which, yeah, that's, yeah, we definitely, in that sense, we don't, I guess, maybe I'm just trying to temper things, because I know various minor things do make a difference, even if they make very little difference, sort of like things you should probably do, but they're not actually going to. They're at best stopping things from changing to be drastically worse, especially given the number of fascists. But like,
the modern word for Republican, okay, fascist is out of fashion, ironically. So we just call them Republicans now.
I got that should go on a t-shirt.
I mean, not every Republican is a fascist. Just a lot of Republicans are fascists, and most are okay with letting fascism happen. So,
well, if there are 10 people at a table and 9 of them are fascists, then there are 10 fascists at the table. But
yeah.
Or put it another way, not all Republicans are fascists, but all fascists are Republicans these days.
That's a good. That is a good question, John McClory. I wonder if like unions are counted as like as the public or as the interest groups in that study. Yeah.
Most interest groups are just fronts for the elites. Just ways for the wealthy to channel their money effectively into politics. They can buy individual politicians, but it's more effective for them to pour hundreds of millions into think tanks and things like that, and have them lobby directly on their behalf.
Well, yeah, because they're because it's difficult to it's not impossible, but it's difficult to make actual change, and a lot of people got complacent. Far too many people got complacent or were murdered by FBI. uh, so that did not help things. Like if yeah, because I do think there would have been a lot more change if the FBI didn't murder I can't think of names.
Fred
Famous
Hampton.
Yeah,
Chris
Fred
Thompson?
Hampton.
Fred Hampton.
No, Fred Hampton. Fred Hampton like brought a lot of groups together.
Yeah.
A lot of separate groups, and that's the
We actually have video of Fred Hampton. He was so influential that they made it a point. People caught him on camera. This was 50 years ago, before cell phones.
Yeah. It's just one of those things where it is important. Like, yeah, no, there were problems with the Black Panther Party back then in terms of
Misogyny and
hierarchical stuff,
homophobia.
but like, yeah, but like the Black Panther Party also helped help with the protests to try to move stuff towards like the disability protest, like famous disability protest. Black Panther Party was like a big part of getting them food and allowing them to stay in that place. And I can't remember the exact law, but it's part of the it was part of the movement towards the ADA finally getting passed or whatnot. Like the Black Panther Party, with Fred Hampton's influence, work together with lots of groups, and that's kind of something that needs to happen more with organizational groups, so that it's the mixture of it's best for getting stuff done, it's best to have each group be focused on a specific topic, but there needs to be a lot more working together so that people from one group who might care about a topic might help out during the rallies or whatnot with the other group. And stuff like that. And I just think a lot of activism was muted because of stuff the FBI did, or
They literally had him assassinated.
Those were like the big things. Yeah. No, the FBI assassinated Fred Hampton. That's
And the
also
disgusting thing,
well-documented.
the worst part of that, he was 21 years old when they killed him.
Yeah.
Like if Fred Hampton had lived, the amount of positive change that could have happened would have been incredible.
Yep.
Can't have people working together, can we? Nope.
Not black people. That's
504
communism.
protests. Context brought up 504 protests. That was the one the Black Panther Party went to help. It's like a predecessor aspect to the ADA, but
And one of the key things that like the Black Panthers did to like help the community was like the breakfast program as well too.
well, and
Feeding
threatening
children,
cops.
that's grooming.
yes.
Threatening cops also helped.
Yep.
Like
Although
people
they
with
came to
guns
call that cop
stop
watch.
Cops.
Yep.
Yeah. There needs to be more cop watch.
All right.
Look, I live near Minneapolis. There needs to be more cop watch.
Oh yes, the Minnesota Nice. Yeah, the entire community had their Minnesota Nice opinion about the cops. They blew up the police station with Minnesota niceness. Yes.
Look, we got shit done, okay? No, I kid. Actually, we haven't gotten long term. There hasn't been any long term change, and some of that's just because of COVID. And god damn it, was it intimidating to see fucking National Guard around? Because like I live near Minneapolis. I live in St. Paul, and like seeing National Guard around and like, you know, peaceful protests go by, and then like police show up and shoot a tear gas like, you know, a couple feet from you. Just when you're just like going to CVS to pick up meds, it's just like, oh yeah, that's memorable.
And thank you for the link context for Black Panthers and Disability History. I'll like read the later on. You probably a link citing the Section 504 like protest right, that the Black Panthers like help with.
Yeah, and also, I wanted to say like lesbian barbers. There's uh, yeah, there's a little bit of LGBT rights type help as well. But Black
Mhm.
Panther Party were like the big help because they were more organized because
Mhm.
partially because of the help of um, Fred.
Mhm.
I mean, the FBI doesn't assassinate people for no reason. They assassinate them because they're effective. Same with the CIA.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on the CIA.
We could be here a whole like week about the
Oh my
CIA
god.
and like the coups that
CIA
they
has
have
done
got.
so much horrible stuff. I still love what's the name of the channel? They did the Charlie. It's the channel that did the Charlie the Unicorn stuff.
I remember Charlie and
They
the
did.
Unicorn from way back in the day. You're old.
Yeah. So the channel, they did like a show with like a face bar or like a VTubing show, and like every episode. I
Pimp
mean,
Crow,
first off, they did like a
Pimp
murder
Cow.
mystery thing, which was funny. And it was like every time this person committed war crimes, this person has won a Nobel Peace Prize.
Mhm.
And it's up to like the third guess that it's just like, oh, it's this person.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, the fact that they could do that a bunch is its own set of problems. But like, I swear it's probably like a quarter of like the Nobel Peace Prize winners either were war criminals before they won the Nobel Peace Prize or became war criminals afterwards.
Henry Kissinger and Barack Obama.
Yep, Barack Obama was about to say that.
Yeah, no, they didn't even get to like. I mean, they mentioned Kissinger because Kissinger was a recurring villain, but like, um,
He was a recurring villain. Now he's dead.
but like they didn't mention Obama. They went through like several different other people, and like they just didn't do the show long enough to get to Obama. But like they got like 8 or 10 out on the show, and then they mentioned a few more offhandedly. So like,
Mhm.
but yeah, no, there's also like spooky stories. Oh no, that was after the show when the show moved from live to like a more pre-recorded format. There was the spooky stories, and every time it's just like, and this mysterious evil entity was the CIA. It's just like a horror story. It's just like stuff that the CIA has done, and it's hilarious.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, there's so much awful stuff that has been out, and I don't think we'll be able to. I can't remember how many years it is before
40.
we get to find out all the stuff Kissinger did.
Oh. Well, I mean, the CIA stuff gets declassified 40 years ago. 40 years later. Which is why the CIA
Yeah.
always stopped committing crimes exactly 40 years ago.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's bad, and so it makes it feel very hopeless, which is why it's important to factor in, because there has been change that has occurred, and it is important to fight for change and motivate people to fight for change. See, I've run a show before. I know how to bring stuff back to what I wanted to talk about now.
Yeah.
No, it's just, and I realize it's difficult. It's just, I don't know. It just helps, and maybe I'm just like terrified of the future because of how fucked things are. I'm just like, no. I want to do I feel the need to do everything I can possibly do and learn as much as I possibly can to try to move things towards change, because it's not happening fast enough. It's
Mm-hmm.
not happening anywhere near fast enough. And
Yeah.
if learning how to effectively propagandize better will
Mm-hmm.
help, then go for that. And I will be open about that. And if more people can learn how to propagandize better to get people to actually
And I think Ozma just froze.
Yep, looks like it.
Oh man, Whiteman like they were going into a good part too. Oh, so yeah, internet's been like fucking with her. Where to go from that? The
Rioting in the streets, I think, is what she was going to say next.
no, no, there's a time and place for the rights, and the rights are the language of the unheard. So definitely, that's not that's like one of the tools in the toolbox as well. Um, but let's see. I don't know. But yeah, it's like. I think one thing also that just like kind of piggyback off of organizations like working together as well too. I kind of remember that like in the 1980s, during the miners' strikes in Wales under Thatcher in the UK, that like a bunch of gay lesbians and like in
Hmm.
London wanted to like support them as well too. It's kind of like, why do we want to like support them? It's like, well, who looks out for us? We gotta look out for each other. And so
Hmm.
they formed the like, gay lesbians to support the miners. The movie Pride was like kind of covered that, and the movie Pride is a great movie. And the gay lesbians supporting the miners was like the biggest factor. They were the biggest supporters for like the Welsh miners that were like striking in that time too, to the point that like when that like it and that kind of like it pays it back as it were too, that like people don't know it will remember those kind of things. And so like in order to get like LGBTQIA laws that kind of like have passed in the labor parliament as well too, the miners were in solidarity with like the miners on that front. And so yeah, it can like pay it forward, but like it's kind of like best to do it in solidarity. And yeah, okay. I was about to just like DM the I mentioned disconnection potentially. Maybe you did, I will say. Hopefully they'll get back on. But like yeah, just like yeah, I would just like say if you can't get back on great. Well, we will ramble until you do. All right. Let's see. The WWW people give wanted like till like 1992.
Unwanted
Um,
stills, yes. And the
mhm.
CIA, colonial imperialists of America.
That's how it goes, Jojo. Yeah, Summer has Alchemy like this. The candidates for helping with the improvements and is getting longer each day in these insane times. That probably means that there's a lot of work in front of us to do so, and like figuring out like a race to properly like a propaganda that sort of things as well too. That would be really helpful. I'm just open for ideas at this point as well too. I'm just yeah. I don't know. This was like, uh, so, uh,
I had said that if we got married, what would our marriage look like? What kind of like reception would we have if we got married? This is
oh, oh yeah, yeah, that's right. You mentioned in the group chat.
Uh, Star Trek and Weebs.
I was thinking more of like a faux like royal wedding kind of thing. Like I just bought like a bunch of crowns off of like eBay, and I gave one to my wife, and I gave one to myself, and we can just pretend we're like royals getting married or something.
Why would we want to pretend?
Like
we're
Audrey Lloyd.
royals?
Yeah,
Audrey Lloyd,
look,
white girl. I want to be royal.
Look, Lord mentioned how we'll never be royals, so like I don't know why this is even a discussion.
Welcome back, Osmo.
Cosplay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm being sick.
Oh no, yeah, no, cosplay is whatever.
Hey, no, that's not the kind of wedding I would have. A cosplay wedding. It's not required that people cosplay or be in costumes, but it is encouraged. Hey, my sibling got married on like Halloween because that was their spouse's favorite holiday.
I also shared John that thing that I think I put in the Facebook chat.
I think you did. No, I don't know if you did.
Yeah. I
Yes,
don't
you
know.
did
Oh,
share
no, you
something in
did.
the Facebook chat. It was something from ABC.
Yeah, I'm a huge graphics nerd. So I thought that was the most like epic opening for like a newscast ever. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
ABC
I'm a-
2000, the new millennium.
I'm a huge I'm a huge graphics nerd. I'm sorry. Like I love spectacle.
Yes, you should apologize for liking things.
Obviously sarcasm.
Yes.
I'm way too quirky for I think most people. I always like to joke that I think I'm too quirky for a girlfriend. I don't know.
No. You just haven't found someone that'll accept your quirkiness. You will eventually find someone. Like
I mean, like there are far too many people who are boring. Did you know that there are people out there who are not interested in kinks?
Those fuckers.
Like I said, they're boring people. There's boring people in this world.
You want boring times and interesting people.
I'm
As
kink
long as they're
friendly.
not Republicans.
Well, yeah, there we go.
Well, that's the thing about capitalism. Capitalism makes people boring because it's like you're kind of told you can't be fun. You got to be always serious, and I don't know. I don't go to anymore.
Yeah, you have that. The capitalism forces us to like hustle like all the time, every time. Here we are, like on Social Justice Alchemy with our Patreon. Thank you to the patrons of Joe, Marty, Bonrack, the Fuckboys, Mithro, and Ely. I stream on like Twitch and YouTube afterwards, so that I can earn pennies for doing so. But now I gotta do that so I can get money to like Phoenix and Joanna and Joey. Always
Yeah.
gotta be working. Always gotta be hustling.
Well, that's the thing. Like some of that has just gotten worse over time, and that's partially because people thought they were safe. In the 70s and 80s, people thought they were safe, and then
It was
things
because of
ramped up.
white supremacy. I mean,
Yeah.
what's his nuts? LBJ signed Civil Rights Act and Voting Rights Act of 1964. And white people said, oh, black people have access to social safety nets? We have to burn those to the fucking ground.
Basically,
I didn't leave the Democrats left me.
it's all because of our people, isn't it? You know, we just
No,
want.
so, it's all because of white supremacy. They just blame you people for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, the really scary people blame my people.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Well, no, I mean, no, it's both of you. Be fair. The Jews are using the blacks as labor to destroy the white man. That's how it works.
Oh my god. I
Isn't
mean,
that
that is
what
their
Hogwarts went
argument.
see?
I'm not even disagreeing with that because
Did the Jews also bring the blacks over as slaves too? Did they also do that too?
Yes, they tricked white people into miscegenation.
Now, the Jews killed Jesus, at least that's what I heard, but, like...
Oh,
Oh my god.
oh, that hurts so much. Don't remind me of that reality. No, you get into weird stuff. Oh my god, there was a person on the bus recently who got into that sort of like the conspiracy talking points, and like some of the stuff he said was true or whatever about like FBI being involved with or potentially true, with FBI being involved with MLK
No,
assassination.
no. That yeah,
But
yeah.
that-
There are
but
interesting
that-
questions
but
there
but he
that we'll
also
never have
starts
answers to.
spouting, like, but that once he got into this whole, once he started spouting
New
like
World
he was
Order
spouting
or
a bunch
something
of
like that.
problematic stuff too. But once he started getting into like, all these problems with like the Catholics and the Jews, I'm just like, dude, get me off this bus. Get me off this bus. I need to
Yes. Oh god.
not safe.
It's so wild how the most random dipshit theories, flat Earth, hollow Earth, expanding Earth, all come back to the Jews.
I think John Brockman froze.
Yes.
You did froze for a second, but you're back.
Oh, okay. All this random bullshit always comes back to the Jews for no goddamn reason. They just want to find some excuse to believe something stupid and then attack Jews.
Well, it's because that's where a lot of conspiracy theories originated from, or at the very least, people who join conspiracy theory circles to try to get some sense of community, stand a chance at running into problematic views, and without the filter or whatnot, without any grounding, like people can get convinced of anything. And let's be honest, neo-Nazis got super motivated by Henry Ford and
Henry Kissinger.
have continued on that.
Yeah.
We need to ban Henrys.
No more Henrys. Sorry.
Yes, all
I
Henrys.
mean, okay, but like the
What
funny
about
thing
Harrison Ford?
is,
He played regarding Henry.
like Kissinger is a terrible person. I'm not trying to say Kissinger isn't a
No,
terrible person.
He's dead now.
Sorry, he's dead now. Thank you.
You should
Thank you
always
for
remember
reminding
that he
me of
finally
glorious
fucking died.
thing. But like even Kissinger had a problem with shit the Israeli government was doing, and that's a problem. You gotta know that's how bad it was. Like
Even Reagan said that Israel was overreacting, and sometimes.
Well, that was probably just the dementia.
more advice from Kissinger. Kissinger has been around with a lot of governmental stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Drew?
Reagan kicked him out because he wasn't conservative enough. Like, this is how bad the Republican Party is. Like, Nixon was fine with Kissinger. Reagan was like, no, you're not conservative enough. You're not problematic enough.
I'm willing to work with anyone, even if he's a Jew. I don't think so.
So that was Nixon's attitude.
Yeah.
The way Nixon framed stuff, because Nixon.
Oh yes.
Yeah, that's who I was literally trying to mimic. Obviously, my Nixon
okay.
impersonation needs work.
I wonder if Nixon said the N-word.
Oh, all the
Yeah,
time.
he did.
We have him on tape.
100%.
We have him on tape. He was
I
awful.
know he called people monkeys. I know he said that one time.
Mhm.
I'm trying to imagine, like, what president did not say the N-word as a word too?
Well, okay, Obama, but he didn't use the hard R.
And he's, of course, allowed because he's reappropriated. He's a black man.
Actually, I don't know that for sure. I'm making that up. He might have used the hard R.
As a black man, I don't think anyone should say that word, even if they are trying to reappropriate it.
And that's fair, honestly. Yes, it's fair.
And white people never should either way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I've heard that argument before. Like, I get that as well, because but it's not my place to say.
Oh yeah.
I have no judgment on it.
Well, yeah.
It's out of my hands.
Black people
I
can
don't
have
know.
that discussion about whether they're not.
I'm not
using-
saying
Yes.
I'm
not
like that.
Yeah, I even though I'm like polysexual and a queer person and non-binary, I would still not use the F word that rhymes with mag or maggot.
Yeah, no,
that's not my place either.
I'm not a fan of the attempts to do that, because it's different if there's like a positive connotation that has been used, but a lot of times when it's just
Like
like
where?
oh no, this has only been used negatively,
Right.
it's a lot harder for Reclamation to work with that.
Yeah, exactly. I also don't use the T slur rhymes with like a granny either because like I it doesn't fit me at all in this word too, and like so it's not my place to try to reclaim it either as well.
The only situation I might say that is if I'm really beating myself up and not in public.
Yes.
And still that's not reclamation attempt.
Yeah.
That is me being
times like
God,
this,
I lift weights.
to delay death, lift weights. That's a fucking headline.
Oh my God! No, I just lifted. Like I just did. Succeeded in a 6x8 today for deadlifts. So
nice.
Tomorrow's going to be up to 130 pounds or whatever.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
I'll
Times like
never
this,
go up super high with that.
Yeah. Times like this, I remember what my friend Josh's grandmother said to us as we went out for a night on the town in Miami. All right, boys, have a nice time out there. Keep your hands on your wallets and watch out for fagels. She was kind of living it down to the stereotypes there.
Yeah.
The next morning at brunch, my other grandson, Seth, Mr. Personality, he could sell you the Brooklyn Bridge. Josh, we got to get you a nice Jewish girl.
At least you're better than them, John. Not by much, but you're working on it.
She was funny.
Yeah, racism, bigotry. That's funny. But speaking of like trying to like re-propagandize or do better, effective ways of doing propaganda, I bet you still got a list that you want to go off of.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So like, just like as Americans, instead of saying that, say as caring people to try to like decrease the us v them or join together across racial differences.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, no, it's really interesting because it's just things because like instead of focusing on racism, being like racism, anti-immigrant, attack on immigrants or whatnot, just be like, focus on them being the problem, being like trying to like divide us against each other. Shame and blame, point fingers at.
Well, apparently one of the most effective things you can do is show them a picture of a single child. Because children are cute, and having one person to help is a lot more doable than millions.
Yeah. That's what I was mentioning earlier with the individuals or whatever.
Tying it back.
Or even,
I'm running a show.
Yeah. Well, even like stuff like instead of security, survival, escape it, violence, or whatever, just trying to focus on live in peace, care for children, live free from danger, or whatnot.
Building homes, building communities, building families.
Yeah. And it's just like, not focusing on the fact that people are immigrating here because of all the hatred, just being like, these are people who are just trying to move here. Like,
yep.
And they're being locked up. That's really fucked up.
I mean, would you want to live here or in Honduras? Focus on that. No.
We did this.
No, you can't get too negative.
No.
I mean,
Or
we did.
You can talk about negative stuff, but it's still important to talk about negative stuff. It's just a lot of people have heard a lot of negative shit already.
And they've already decided they don't want to hear it. Or they're tired of it, or they don't think it's that bad. They can rationalize it. Can't remember what
and they
podcast.
don't feel like they can do anything about it. So that's why it's important to just be like, we can stand up and do something about it.
Yeah, I guess like also, I guess one thing is like if you're able to do it, like either think of it like something that can do or present something that can like do even it's like just like a small amount of like time that they have. I guess is more too. Like if they have extra money, like a organization that they can help fund, or like something that's small, or like maybe contact their representatives at like talking points as well too.
Well, usually when it comes to the stuff that requires the least amount of effort is usually the stuff least likely to make a lot of direct change, but like
True.
is good at helping people keep attention on the subject. Be like,
Right.
okay, this is just, it's reminding people that this is still happening, and also they can, even though it's not much, they just have to like essentially click a couple buttons and they'll have done something. But that's not going to make the more grand protests or whatever that get lots of attention are the things that take the longest to plan or
True.
whatnot, and you need to keep people paying attention to shit between that.
I mean, people are still saying like, no, do not stop talking about like Gaza and Palestine as the word too, because that's still very important as well.
Yeah, I was just trying to see, like, did I send you the rough draft stuff?
No, I don't think you did.
Okay, I can find it. I was just, because I was talking about I know I was talking about like the differences before with someone, because it's just been, like I said, I just started, so like I don't know anywhere near as much as the people going on about stuff. I just had like a couple of rough drafts for tweets or whatever, and because with me attempting to do stuff, because I went through like a few, because stuff goes through a few drafts because people are trying to like go for quality or whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like the first couple was just like, we're standing up for people legally just trying to move here, because I'd looked through all the notes as well. People legally just try to move here to be safe with their families under SB4. People will be put in prison just for looking the wrong way because they can arrest. It's what Texas is trying to do to keep people arrested. I think it's still delayed under the Supreme Court. Anyways, sorry.
Yeah.
Let's stand up for our brethren regardless of whether or not they're born here. Which is not, like, I'm not saying that's terrible or whatnot. And the other option I put was, we all know that families matter, whether they're born here or they moved here from a different country. Let's all do what we can to try and uphold the rights of people, or rights people are supposed to have here or whatnot. Like I was spitballing early on, or no.
Yeah.
I say that like I've been doing this that long. I haven't. This is like Monday, and like it's like, I don't know, 2 to 4 hours a week of work, but like every little bit. And oh yeah, here's what I focused on: SB4 and Operation Lone Star primed to tear apart families. Never Get Action, other organizations, and people showed that people still care about families regardless of origin. Let's continue to fight until Texas stops destroying families with these bills. I think that's there was editing that was done with that, but that was like the main one I went closer to. But like just trying to make stuff motivating.
True.
So that people are like, I want to do something about this. Because that's like not necessarily easy to do. And,
No, it's not.
there's so many ways you can just be like, get people to like shut down and just be like, nope.
Yeah.
Nope, there's too much. And that's also why I think focusing on community is important as well.
Sure.
It's like people need community.
Yeah.
And now I'm just like seeing Brockman silent. I'm just like, wait, are we the only people?
No, I'm still here.
Okay. You were silent and still, because like I can't see.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, it's like,
That's the problem with having a camera that would look on a messy bedroom, and also the fact that I have terrible bed beard every day.
I gotcha. A shame.
Yeah, you just like basically like before these shows. Now that you're like driving Uber at nights and something like that until 4 a.m., you're just like,
I
basically,
roll out of bed and come right here. Yeah.
mm, people
And
are
looks like
not the
Isaiah's
lower.
back.
Yes, and you have to judge the glory. Like people are not a lower quality because they're born outside of our nation as well too.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I just think this sort of mentality can also be helpful when talking about
I'm here just
capitalism and just trying to provide another narrative so that people
mhm.
don't get bogged down with capitalism being like an inevitability or whatnot, or like a lot of other just really dark stuff dark
Mhm.
attitudes people can have.
Well, we should think of
um
capitalism like Thanos. It's inevitable, but we can kill it. And a billionaire at the same time.
okay,
Uh,
but like I don't think that's the best example, because then you're just like, you and we need to kill this billionaire, another billionaire.
And then
it's just
they
like a
both
Hydra.
die.
That is true. They do both die. So there was that happy ending aspect, but like,
Um,
yeah, no,
uh,
it's just, yeah, it's just my mind's been on this a lot. So I'm like, no, I want to shout about this, and then I was just like, almost forgot that I was gonna talk today. I was just like, oh shit, no, yeah, no, that was tomorrow. Yeah, yeah.
well, yeah, I don't know. I had the naive thinking that like I can like change other people's like minds and like maybe have them become anarchists as well too, but like that wasn't going to happen in like one conversation. But I know at least on that front, or just on talking to people and just like um conversing in that way or propagandizing people in that way. I guess it's like it was naive of me to think I can change people's minds as well too, or as like quickly as I thought I could. But like, or maybe I'm bad at like at communicating my ideas as we're doing having conversations, or I just get
Well,
too frustrated as we're talking to liberals, especially.
well, yeah. I mean, that is the peak potential frustration, because they care on some level,
Yeah.
and caring makes it almost easier to get emotionally invested.
Hmm.
Yeah, because like deep inheritance, fear of the future, desire for stability, system that makes sense. Yeah, so like just getting people to believe that change can actually happen is like difficult, despite the fact that
Hmm.
there has been change that
You're
has
advocating for
happened.
change you can believe in? Ugh, liberal. Now I'm going back to Obama, 2012. Or 28,
Well,
2008.
that's the thing. Like presidents, senators, representatives, and even state officials, you're not going to. Primary is like the best place to change their minds, but also you don't want to get a fascist in power, because
Mm-hmm.
they will make things bad
Very
quickly,
quickly.
and far too many people will
I
go
only
along
want to be
with
a
it.
dictator for a first day. I promise.
Oh God. Oh, the amount of conservatives who just don't even want to acknowledge that he is like a fascist, despite the fact that he has said that out loud.
They acknowledge it to themselves, and that's what they want.
Hmm.
I've been
Some of them do it. No, shut
watching
up.
show recently, and there's a lot of things in that show that I think are
Yeah, what
happening
show?
now, but that show is
Oh
Handmaid's
yeah,
Tale.
that show.
uh, I mean, there are people who unironically want to play handmaid.
Mm.
So
Mm-hmm.
Um,
The last Supreme Court justice got appointed. Amy Coney Barrett, I think is her name.
Mm-hmm. Yep. If she were honest, she wouldn't be on the Supreme Court.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, vote for your opponent, Joe McClure. Yeah, pretty much.
well, yeah, and that's part of the reason why like the primaries are like the most important thing with regards to voting, because you can make, even if it's small change, you can put pressure, even if it's just voting. What was the recent thing? I'm not saying it made a lot of change, but like in the Democratic primary voting, I can't think of the term. Uncommitted, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's what I
Like
did.
even shit like that, if you get enough people to do that,
Like in Michigan and Washington State, that's where.
Yeah, it does put pressure, and but like real change doesn't come from above. It's just, which is why it's important to. I definitely will promote, like, find activist communities in your area and just try to connect with ones who are doing movements that are important to you, whatever they are. Like, even if it's just like writing letters to people in jail or whatnot, or
that can make a huge difference in people's lives as well, too.
Or there's just
because believe it or not,
immigration rights.
No, immigration rights. Yeah.
I'm definitely all for, as I am working for. Although, like, I haven't. Life keeps getting in my way of getting into more contact with MIRAC, which is the Minnesota Immigration Rights Action
Committee.
I can't remember the last. Yeah, I can't remember the last letter.
Communism,
sure, but like something like that. Well, I mean, a lot of people. Like, if someone is working with an activist groups, there's a much higher probability that that person's a socialist or a communist or whatever.
And if they're doing good things, there's a much higher probability they're a socialist.
But if you're a communist, you're for what like China is now and like USSR now. That's what some people believe. Like,
I'm definitely for what the USSR now. Or I'm definitely okay with the USSR being what it is now.
Yeah, non-existing.
As in not existing.
Yeah, okay. I was just like starting to.
I'm not okay with what the Russian Federation is. I'm also not okay with what the USSR was.
Yeah. I was just like, it's like, wait, my tanky sense is tingling. Oh, okay. Yeah,
how dare you?
No, it's just interesting how many times I've because like a lot of just activism in general, you're more likely to have people talk like we are here.
Yeah.
So like it is also a good place to find community of like-minded people. And they there's a lot that can be done, which doesn't involve you leaving your house or apartment or whatnot. Like, people on the ground, that's just like one small part of activism, because there's planning, there's trying to keep people paying attention to it. There's like trying to improve your messaging, your propaganda, stuff like that. And then there's also like, action that ramps up. It starts as protests.
Yeah.
It starts as simple protests, and then it gets to like lions or like I can't think of official terminology, but like you get into stuff that's like more dangerous, and there are less people who will do it. But like you
direct
get people
action,
knowing.
praxis.
You get people who are willing to volunteer for what they can do, and even protests in themselves, just simple protests are have risks. Like we had a lawyer, we had people on the side to try to who are like the people at the most risk, like at the side of the protests and like effectively like security or whatnot in case like cops show up or whatever to deal with stuff.
Or the Proud Boys and stuff like that.
And I can't help but notice that although we're not supposed to advocate violence, you just talked about putting people on the ground and then releasing lions.
No, I was talking about
Like the
people,
Christians who do.
I was talking about people lying down.
I choose to believe what I was programmed to believe.
Okay, be stuck in the Matrix.
And remember, the red pill was.
Yeah, I was just about to say I'm gonna go take my estrogen pill and like get out of the Matrix. Which is why, as soon as I found out about Switch, for some strange reason, before I even like acknowledged to myself as trans, Switch was my favorite character.
Yeah,
and
she's like
the original draft.
Yeah, she was supposed to be trans. I think it was I can't remember which, but a trans woman.
Yeah,
like the Wachowski sisters.
Yeah, I believe trans woman, but I can't say for sure. I know she very much, because the Matrix shows you who you it expresses yourself how you really are, and then like there was like how Switch's body was, which also was like another factor in terms of the name Switch. Although there is a lot of like BDSM.
When people hear there's Switch. Is there top? Is there bottom?
Tank, Dozer, Cypher, Switch, Mouse.
Yeah,
so
Mouse,
Tank and Dozer are definitely tops. Cypher's a power bottom. Mouse goes up someone's bottom.
Oh wow! At least it's like 85 minutes into the show that or like 75 minutes into the show that we get to like that part of the sex talk of the show.
Well, we started talking about trans people and then immediately switched over to BDSM.
Look, that's just my problem. Sorry. That was my fault.
Next, you're gonna bring the drag queens into it.
I mean, yeah, but I mean that's not kink related, so like I'm not interested. No, I'm just. Oh my god, the amount of. I mean, the problem is. It's just, sorry, a thought process I was having before. Like, part of the problem is with conservatives is just that they don't.
Fascists.
They don't sit back and actually think about stuff. It's very much just like emotional gut reaction shit or whatever.
Yeah.
And so they don't care about if the talking points mean anything. They care about the talking points and how powerful they feel someone is.
Yeah.
Because of the conditioning with regards to hierarchy and individualism and all that stuff or whatnot. Which is why you can get people who just completely don't understand the Matrix. And they're like, oh, Neo's powerful. So, also, why is it always Keanu Reeves? Like, you have Neo, like, for I can't even think. The people who can't get any.
Incels?
Yes. Why is it always... It's like Matrix shit. It's like Neo from the Matrix. It's Keanu Reeves from the Matrix, and then it's also for Alpha, and then Keanu Reeves from the Matrix for Sigma. No, sorry, Keanu Reeves not from the Matrix, from John Wick for Sigma. And it's just like, why? You know, Keanu Reeves is like a big fan of trans rights.
Yeah, he's actually a good.
I'm pretty sure
there are probably people out there who think that be excellent to one another means to be alpha to one another. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, also Keanu Reeves.
Yes.
Yeah.
I still have not seen the third one.
Keanu Reeves is my gay crush, everybody. So
He's everyone's gay
Nothing-
crush.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean, like,
So Ryan,
I'm
Ryan
not into guys sexually, but like, Keanu Reeves,
Mhm.
you know.
Is my
To be
sexual.
fair, I'm pan-romantic, so like.
No, okay, yeah. Is my sexual orientation is being attracted to Keanu Reeves. No. Oh, or the cast of like Mummy.
I was just about to bring up that meme.
That should also be on his shirt too.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
My gay crush is Keanu Reeves.
Again, that's everyone's gay crush. Keanu Reeves from Dracula would be the Bata in the in that thing.
What about Keanu Reeves?
Keanu Reeves from Dracula is the bottom Keanu Reeves.
What about,
I mean, to be fair, Keanu Reeves from The Matrix is bottom Keanu
Mhm.
Reeves.
what about,
From John Wick, he's a top, I think.
what about Keanu Reeves from
Yes.
Speed? What about that?
Keanu Reeves and Speed.
Ooh,
Like Bill and Ted, I think he's a switch.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's where I was gonna go. Yeah,
I bet the
Or
movie's
Verse.
up
Verse.
in Speed, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the Kirok, I pretty much am going to do like Twitch like later after the show's like over. We got 10 more minutes, so like we're not ending anytime soon, but like we will shortly. But I don't know what I want to like play later on. It's like kind of like
No, Keanu Reeves from Dracula is not Beta, he's Omega.
yes.
He loves getting knotted by a werewolf.
Okay, no. I'm changing the topic because like Steve Shops kind of like posted like a short today, and it was not a Steve
no.
Stuffy short as well too. About like he kind of like talk about like guilty pleasures. Normally people talk about it as if like something that like they know is bad, but they derive pleasure from. But like the examples that like Steve Shops brings up like. I think good things, legitimately guilty pleasures would be like a Kevin Spacey movie or Michael Jackson song or God forbid Charlie Chaplin. People that did great, amazing, creative work, but are actually horrible people, and you feel guilty for like deriving pleasure from this one. And yet, interesting when Steve brings this up, as he said in the short, people would bring up the typical guilty pleasures like, oh, I love the movie Mom and Dad Saved the World, such a corny movie, and it's like. Yes, that is a corny movie. I enjoy that movie a lot. As like it's fun and enjoyable corniness, but don't look up the actor to play the father and what he had done.
Oh no. Yeah, no.
People
When
use
it
the term
comes to
guilty
movies-
pleasure, or hate the term guilty pleasure. Oh, because you should just enjoy what you enjoy. Unless what you
Yeah,
enjoy is
that-
Nazi shit.
No, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But my example is like Tool's music. Tool's music is phenomenal, wonderful, and amazing. It's just like an experience to listen to a Tool album, or if you're lucky to go to a Tool concert. But what Maynard
Didn't their
James
lead
Keenan-
singer do something horrible?
She said, "I'm 17 to him when he was 36, and she was still his type, and took her to like the RV backstage, and none of it was consensual. It was all illegal. The full to describe it would require content warnings." And she posted that anonymously on Twitter. But what got me convinced that like that's legitimate is that others in Reddit shared their stories with similar details. He would point them out of the crowd, usually they're front stage. It's the same manager with same like only one backstage pass. And again, finding his type. And some did not go because like they wanted to go backstage with their boyfriend, and so they were fortunately did not have that happen. One kind of like did, all right, go back to the RV, but once he starts taking off his pants, the one's like, okay, I'm out of here. And fortunately, she did manage to escape before anything else happened as well too. But like
Yeah.
other details, basically, the lead singer's a rapist, basically.
Yeah, no, there's too many musicians who are problematic. Like,
Basically, you give anyone any kind of power, and they use it to do horrible things. So we should stop giving people power.
Oh, I agree. Which it can be popularity in some way, so maybe something to be mindful of, but not necessarily intellectual, like a philosophical topic. I'm going to put too much energy into is popularity and just hierarchy as well. Right now, when there are a lot more person concerns.
I think some of it's society, but yeah, no, we
True.
shouldn't. No rulers, no kings.
Yes.
Fuck that shit.
Yeah. That's it. That's why I am a communist, but not for what the USSR was or what China is now, because like
That
they're
absolutely
very
would, Kirok. I'm against government.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I'm what Carl Sagan one time said. I'm for a government that makes the people self-reliant.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's where I put my.
I get
that
concerned
that
with
sounds like
terms
Republican talking
self-reliant.
points.
Yeah, when it comes to self-reliant, like nobody's self-reliant. People rely on other.
I believe in
people,
government that makes
nobody,
people
but, like,
self-empowered.
Most people do not get anything on their own. Most people don't grow their own food, make their own home, and all that stuff. And even if you could, that would just stunt humanity's growth. Part of the one thing that made humanity great is our ability to work together as people, and that's the only way to have anywhere near a comfortable life is to work together. And some people can only do so much. Communist phrase for work. I can't.
From each from each according to their ability, to each according to their need.
Yes, there we go. That.
Yes.
I mean, I love Sagan, but that phrase does sound a bit white guy.
No, it does.
I mean, yeah, well, a lot of the sayings that are easiest to get coverage are the sayings of white people. Like,
True.
there are biases out there.
Yes. So white people, study and learn the talking points from like all the marginalized people and black people. Do not be the voice for black people. Let them speak for themselves. But if the black voices or non-white voices are not being heard, then you can step in white person and use your white powers as well too. Oh
yeah, no, but like Malcolm X said like a lot of just like true shit. And
that's why the CIA killed him too.
Yeah,
blame it on Islam.
Well, we don't know that the FBI did that, but we do know the NYPD was involved in some way in his assassination.
Yeah, and some of that is also because like he stopped being easy to make an enemy or whatever, and so he had to be gotten rid of because one of the easiest ways to distract people is to make up enemies, new enemies. That's what the Republican Party does.
Yeah.
Well, no, they're making up old enemies. It's the Jews still, and black people, and gay people.
Well, yeah, it was gay people before, but now they're using old say arguments for gay people against trans people because it's easier to attack trans people.
Well, they have to cycle through them, or whatnot, and like
just waiting for the Republicans to try and burn down the Institute for Sexwissenschaft. The Institute for Sex Research, like the Nazis did.
Oh, yeah, like the Nazis did, yep.
I mean, they want to, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I mean, also, like the people who are influencing, the people with the most influence, the evangelicals and the other Christian nationalist institutes, they're saying shit, and Republicans, even some Republican Congress people are stupidly going along with it or whatnot. And some are actively promoting it because they're like KKK and evangelicals directly. It's just pathetic when you see Republicans like make laws and then they're just like, oh shit, that's what that does? Maybe that wasn't such a good idea. And then they was like, but I can't backtrack it. Because then it'll make it seem like I made a terrible, horrible mistake that ruined lives. Like the whole fucking fetus thing, where they're just like, "Oh no, we want people to have children, so we're gonna stop people from being
They
able
want
to have
white
children."
people to have children.
That's true.
Yeah.
But,
It's
white
all
people-
eugenics all the
but
way
like
down.
that stops. That's not helpful for that either. If we're talking about embryos for if we're talking about rich people shit or whatever, or people with money being more likely to have kids, that negatively affects white people more so than people of color, just due to the after effects of generational wealth or whatever, and destroying Black Wall Street and
Well, it's also
all the
capitalism
other-
and
so
the reserve army
yeah.
of labor, and
But yeah, no, I'm just saying that the Republicans stopping people from getting embryos put in them or whatever. I don't think the people who went along with that law, I'm pretty sure they were just actively stupid or whatnot, but the people promoting it definitely were not stupid, because the people promoting it go with the white nationals thing of like, we need a pure strong race or whatever, so if you can't have kids, you shouldn't have kids. If you can't have kids easily, you chose the wrong partner.
if you're diabetic, you don't deserve that insulin.
Exactly. That is 100% that's how eugenics works.
Yep.
And eugenics is something
Forcing
that,
white people to make babies and forcing black people not to. Black people, disabled, felons, mentally ill, Jews,
Any non-white person.
foreigners.
Yeah. And yeah, which is a huge fan of Nazis, Christian nationalists, and evangelicals. It's just so much easier to just break it down into the people who have the most financial influence on this shit or whatnot. And who are most obviously, no, these people are bad.
Yeah.
Or should be most obvious, I should say. Because that like, because like most Christians are not like, don't care about this shit as much as the evangelicals do.
Yeah,
don't know.
Contrast said that they're not against like IVF, they're just like selective reduction. Just selective reductions they're against, yeah. Well, and like on that note of eugenics, we end the show on.
Sorry, no, let's do a positive note. So, find some community, get, like, you don't have to immediately do something, just, like, get involved, just reach out, just try to find, try to look up activist groups. There's a
Bring
lot of
positivity into people's lives. Throw cats at Republicans.
stuff. No, don't
Why
hurt
do that to the
cats.
cats? Why do that to the cats?
No, you throw milkshakes at them.
Yes.
Give them
There's
something
these
sweet.
cheap milkshakes. cheap milkshakes that would likely give you diarrhea. Throw those.
Yes, Eugene is in Oregon. Why is that?
Yes, it is. Actually, Eugene is in Oregon. I know people there.
But the point is, just like, try to find community, and it doesn't have to be directly in person, but like, I do think it is like emotionally helpful to feel like you're doing something, even if you don't make a lot of direct difference or whatever. I think it's just beneficial to just like stave off the sense of hopelessness that can very easily things. I do think it's helpful to try to reach out, and I get like if life gets in your way more so, but I genuinely think it's helpful. And fuck the touch grass state sort of saying like, all this shit is shit I'm doing online. All the shit that I'm doing to help Never Get Action is shit I'm doing online. Not that I wasn't in the Austin protest last year, but like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? It's not.
Okay, about to the crowd that's like it says to touch grass. Why touch grass? Bugs poo and peep bugs poop and pee in the grass.
Bugs poo
anyway.
and peep in everything. They poop and pee in your mouth while you're asleep.
And have sex in the grass too. So there you go. A whole bunch of like bug like fluids you're touching as you touch grass.
Also, that's not because they're disgusting. It's a kink thing.
Back to kink already. Bug kink, okay. Yes, we're ending the show on that as we're doing. But also, I'm allergic to the grass and I burn in the sun, so that's why I don't go outside. But also, it's very ableist in classes, honestly, because like it's not.
Wow, an Irishman is allergic
Yes.
to grass.
I'm only part Irish.
I'm also part Irish.
Oh,
Yeah,
fuck.
honestly, it's very sliver Irish in me as well too. I have like Welsh, English, Scottish. Scott's my last name. I even like Potawatomi. I mean, my mom was like half English, a quarter Dutch, a quarter French, a quarter Swiss, and a quarter Swedish.
I'm mostly German, but I'm a little bit English, English, Irish, Scottish. Somewhere on my mom's side, I'm Jewish.
Mm-hmm.
Outside the fact that my parents converted to Judaism and they were Jewish before I was born, so I am Jewish enough for Israel.
Yes,
but not Jewish enough for Ben Shapiro. So like, just
I believe you mean to say that you're
try to
white
do
enough
it.
for Israel.
Yeah, and also I know it because like both my parents did genetic tests, and I'm probably like a very small amount Turkish or somewhere around that area. But like I'm mostly German and I'm very white.
I'm mostly West African.
I'm a British mutt with some French oregano.
There is some Potawatomi in me as well too. Not like a family story of like back long ago. Of, like we have like a great aunt was a Cherokee princess. First of all, I don't think Cherokees ever have fucking princesses.
Okay, Elizabeth Warren.
Yes, exactly. No. My family does know of like that one aunt that was Potawatomi and it's part of on my dad's side, on my dad's mom's side. So it's like, no, I am 132nd and 164th. 132nd, I think, Potawatomi. It's like not enough to like count, but like, and I'm not connected to the Potawatomi that much, or have that like heritage as well too. But I should learn about the Potawatomi since they're interesting.
But yeah, no, most of my relatives are probably just distant relatives are people who moved in from like Germany or near Germany.
Yeah.
In like the late 1800s, because there's like a huge rush of people.
Yeah,
who did
exactly.
that.
Mostly German, famous 80s synth pop group. Mostly German. That's a bad name.
One of them is
Mostly
Swedish.
Mostly German, but the German people who moved well before World War One.
Yes, has a portion as well. They were very fine Germans before, during, and after World War II and World One. Yes, very fine Germans.
They were the ones who fought the Nazis.
Yes. So we're ending the show now because we're 8 minutes past the end of the show. Ozma the Dark, do you want to promote anything?
I wish I could. Unfortunately, life has been getting away with from everything. And
You're
everything
working
I
with an
wanted to do
organization.
has just sort of fallen apart. So like, yeah. So I don't think I'm not motivated to promote anything outside of if you're in a place near one of the Never Again Action chapters, go ahead and join them. I know they don't have one in Minnesota, unfortunately.
Never again. Okay, never again.
But they got one in Never Again Action. So like they have one in Wisconsin. They have one in Texas, specifically Austin, Texas. They have a chapter. I think they have a chapter in Chicago and New York. I don't know. There's only like 6 to 8 states where there's a chapter, but like if you're in one of those states or you want it, or especially if you're Jewish and you want to work with other Jewish people who were inspired by the fact that, oh no, we've got people being sent to concentration camps. We should not have that happen ever again. So thus the
Yeah.
never again action.
Mhm. And,
So yeah.
Sorry. So Isaiah Taylor, I think you were like putting together a model of the like a whole telescope or something like that, or International Space Station, as it were, just in
That's
one of
right.
those two.
Well, when I'm not working on my movie script, I'm building my space station or I'm building my outfit.
hmm And you also have like two YouTube channels that like you haven't worked on, but like people can still check out: the Autistic Modeling Society and Sensor Intelligence, as well as your Instagram, where they can see the work that you're put together on your cosplay and like model ships. Isaiah.Taylor60.
Although I do have another Instagram. It's called Galactic Cosplay Crafts that I'm dedicating solely to my artwork. So I'm doing that.
Okay. Everyone check that out. I'm mostly German. Also, cars without like working turn indicators. Do we need a turn when you're on the autobahn? But I'm somewhat German, not mostly German though. Summer and a Geek. I am on Tumblr, co-host, Blue Sky, Twitter, and not on like Facebook. But I'm Jonathan Scott on Facebook, so you can find me there if you want me.
Kirok, I believe Isaiah's things are linked in the down below.
Yes, they should be. I can. No, it's like pull it up too if I want to. Yes. Here's like the two YouTube channels. There's
Sandrine, no, they're not. Oh dear, that's a very
Okay.
old down below. I need to update.
Yeah, it's a very old. Yeah, you need to update that. But again, like you said before, you have like two like modes. As we're two right now.
Right now or not right now?
So if you need
I'm
to do
updating it
something,
right now.
Yes, it has to be like right now, or else you forget and have no motivation to do it whatsoever. But yeah,
Which is really bad when it comes to taxes.
Oh yeah, I gotta do my taxes too. I'm Summer and Geek on like most of the social media sites, but I'm also on Summer and Geek on YouTube and Twitch, and I'll be like streaming after I get off this call on YouTube and Twitch after I eat something. Just not sure what I'm gonna be like streaming. Haven't decided yet. Fortnite. Not more Skyrim. I played Skyrim last time, so it's like either more Fortnite or more Stardew Valley. Not sure which. And then like John Brockman, you're part of another podcast, aren't you?
Dungeons and Debacles. We're cops. We're trying not to be. I'm trying not to be cops.
You're
I'm
trying not to be a cop.
At one point, we were in the Underdark killing drow civilians because of an outbreak of a hate plague. And I got really upset
Oh, no.
because we were cops killing black people.
Yes.
Oh no.
So we undid that storyline.
Okay, can I quick say something about
Is that a
Skyrim
story?
to make it less depressing?
Yes, go ahead and do something
Oh yeah,
positive.
no. So like, I know, I don't know if this will go out or anything because I have ideas. I have been trying to deal with modding Skyrim, and I may have overthought it because they used to merge files or whatever. And I'm pretty sure I've been making like every mistake possible with regards to modding, and I've learned a lot. And I feel like I've got like a whole story that I want to do, but like with my record as it has been, life will likely kick my ass too much.
There's a collab. You and Jonathan, him on Twitch, and you walking him through your mods on Skyrim.
Okay, I'm not gonna walk through like at minimum it's gonna be like 800 mods. I'm not doing that.
What?
Yeah. And
I do not know the Skyrim modding community right now. I need to deal with trying to set up, because I realized I don't really have to merge mods because I've dealt with a different mod list before that's got like 1,160 mods or whatnot that are downloaded. And to be fair, some of those are patches, so it's not like all inherently distinct things, and some of them are just like minor fixes or whatnot. But still, like, I'm not walking people through every single one of that. I'm just gonna
Jesus
make
Christ.
my own wob list. No. See, here's the thing. Wabajack.
This mod fixes Khajiit's ears.
No, Wabajack is something that's set up so that it like auto downloads the mods and installs them and whatever. It makes it easier for people or whatever. And I do want to make a mod list to upload it so you can just like download Wabajack and just install the entire thing. And so you don't have to like the general populace doesn't need to worry about it much.
Mm-hmm.
I just, because I'm trying to do my own custom thing, because the majority of those are for Anniversary Edition, and I only have Special Edition.
Oh, that's
so I have to go
right.
through stuff. No, I found out I needed to do meta files, so I realized I had to figure out how to create the meta file for the manual download, because the person who does the unofficial Skyrim Special Edition patch archives anything but like the one for the most recent version of Skyrim, like a dickhead. And so I had to do the manual download, and then I had to create a separate meta file because I can't do the mod downloader option that's in Nexus mod. It's just, no, it's a whole mess. This is why I'm just like, there's a whole story. There's potential for me to be able to make a video just about my entire experience trying to deal with modding Skyrim. But like, I don't want to make promises because like I've been dealing with switching out ADHD medication and just other stuff, and I've got like potential housing issues in the future, so I'm just like, hopefully, maybe, but like no promises. I don't want to promote it because like I don't know if it's even gonna show up, but like, yeah.
Modding Skyrim is fun. What are you about to say, Isaiah?
No, I was saying, did you guys hear the story about what's going on at Space Camp with this? There's like a transgender employee who wants to work there, and she's being like given shit because she's transgender working at Space Camp.
And the people at NASA are assholes.
I don't know if it's NASA. It's an Alabama.
I don't know who runs Space Camp, but I know the people in NASA are assholes. That's why Jellicoe Wellico Space Telescope.
No, yeah, that's that. Unfortunately, I'd say, again, we're ending the show.
We're trying.
We're trying.
I'm sorry,
I gotta get ready to go.
My rambling didn't help.
Well, yeah. So it's like, Isaiah, bring up another topic at the end of the show is not the best time to do it. We can talk about it like next week, though, like about like a transgender person like trying to like work at Space Camp and Space Camp like denying them work as well too. We'll save that story for another time. Everyone that's listening and watching, thanks so much for like listening and listening, supporting social justice Alchemy, and supporting that, which in turn supports our friends in need. So don't forget to like support other people that if you have the means to do so down the charity links page and the charity links below. And don't forget to take care of yourselves and practice self-care. So stay awesome, my friends.